And now for the conference itself. Welcome. I'm very happy everyone could arrive safely, and I'm also very happy and grateful you are taking time for this nice opportunity, and so that we can learn more about education for peace, education of character, and a little bit also about environmental situation. I believe that will be a very precious time for us to learn from each other. For the record, I would like to mention that we have, in the end, 17 countries present. We didn't expect that, so it is a very international, thank you. It is a very international audience here tonight, and in the case you like to know, I will quickly name the countries. So we have a lady from Afghanistan, people from Philippines, Bulgaria, from Egypt, and also from Japan, Ireland, Australia, Ukraine, and also Russia in the same room, from UK, from Switzerland, Germany, and then what we expected, people from Austria, and people from Hungary and Czech Republic, and the hosting country, Slovakia. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming, traveling long distances. Also, maybe interesting for you, we have participants from the age of 17 to 16. And China, sorry, I didn't mention, thank you. And France, I'm sorry, even more. So 19. Yes, let's use this opportunity to learn from each other, because we surely have much to share. So as for the age, we have people from age of 17 who will also present on the stage, and thank you for your courageous and good input. And to the age above 70, maybe that's enough. I don't need to specify it more. All right. So the two co-organizing organizations that are preparing this conference is a Women's Federation for World Peace, and the other one is Allatra and Creative Society. So thank you for very good cooperation until now. And I believe we are a group of like-minded people who are striving for peace, for human respect, and for fellowship. So I believe this will be a great opportunity that we can inspire each other, learn from each other, and think how, even after this conference, we can contribute to these values of peace and respect and fellowship of people. So that's for the introduction. And now I would like to welcome introduce the first speakers, and it's my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Mitty Tohma. And Mitty Tohma serves as a member of Women's Federation International Executive Board, and also is president for Women's Federation Europe and Middle East, and she oversees initiatives across 62 countries. Huge region with quite many topics to deal with. She also leads a national chapter of Women's Federation in UK, and she's a passionate advocate for human rights and family values. She has organized and coordinated major conferences within the UK and European parliaments, addressing critical issues such as violence against women and human dignity. She also works with the youth. I could go on. It's very difficult to say a simple bio for a person who works in organizations for 30 and over years, but maybe that would be a good summary. On a personal note, Mitty Tohma is a person with a great team spirit, work, a person who listens very well. That's my experience, and a very creative leader. So let's welcome her on the stage.
Good morning, everybody. Very nice to see you. So I'd just like to say thank you to Ľubica and Renate and Katsuya-san. She's here? Where are you? Oh, good. Nice to see you for organizing this amazing conference. And the topic is very, very important. And I know Ľubica has been the driving force behind this, especially she's a great advocate for education. And quality education for all is really important. And I think when I heard that she wanted to address this SDG 4 goal, because our organization is very much towards the SDGs. Somehow all our activities are to fulfill these SDG goals. And education is one of the vital ones that we want to focus on. Knowing that she's a teacher and she's taking care of children and also as a mother, I think this is really our crucial role as women, as mothers, as daughters, as grandmothers, as we are the ones that raise the next generation, and giving quality education is very important, core values, principled education. And also I often think, like our founder, Dr. Moon, Mother Moon, affectionately we call her, she's always concerned about eradicating and lifting people out of poverty. And she's often going to visit around the world, but she has a very strong passion for the African continent. And I think the African continent has not had many opportunities, especially in the field of education. Just wanted to mention that our founder, Dr. Hak Jahan Moon, who we affectionately call Mother Moon, she's very passionate about education, and especially about lifting people out of poverty. And when she was doing her world tour, she went to Africa. And as many of us know, many of our African nations do not have opportunities to receive education. The founder of the Women's Federation International. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so education is a really important driving force in our Women's Federation. So, and also our international president, Mónika Nanys, she is often going to Africa. And recently she was invited to go to Kosovo. They have an international meeting there, and she was invited to speak about peace education. And she talked about her experiences of going to Rwanda. Rwanda, as you all know, is a nation that's been through such a difficult time, through conflict and genocide that happened. But it really was kind of on its knees as a nation. Then eventually it needed the help of the international community. And the only way that could reconcile and bring the nation together was with the help of the Americans and the Swedish. They had this special education program called a peace education. And this is really quite an amazing education program that they have. It's really about focusing on the government having a stakehold, the community leaders having a stakehold, religious leaders having a stakehold, the teachers, the mothers, and also the students. They all have a stakehold in this peace education. So it really shows that education is not necessarily just coming from the government. It has to be a collective effort in order for them to rebuild their nation. And also the main aspect that she got from this whole education program, which perhaps we don't talk enough about, is about forgiveness. Forgiveness is a really important thing, especially if you've been through conflict. And to really forgive your enemy is a very difficult thing. And to teach children about forgiveness and values from a young age, that to love your enemy, someone who's done something really bad to you, So this is just one model that I think we can learn from. As we know, in our world, we have lots of conflicts happening on a large scale and also on small scales as well. So we need peace education. So the Women's Federation is really working hard, and I'm really, really grateful that the Creative Society is partnering up with us and really focusing. Of course, they have many aspects that they focus on, but the environmental issues are very, very important, like food security, water security. Without that, none of us will survive. And if we don't take care of nature, no matter how wealthy we are or how much we have, everyone will be affected. Nature's not selective. It'll affect us all. So I think we, as Mother Moon, also has this focus about sustainability, climate change. So I mean, I could go on and talk about many things, but I'm really pleased that Ľubica, she'll be talking more about our organization and what we're doing and what we've been focusing on. So I'm really happy to be here. I must say one thing before I finish. I really love Slovakia. I really love this. I came here maybe 9 years ago for a European conference, but it's often you're in the hotel and then you go for a walk just locally. But this time Ľubica invited us to come early, and I'm really grateful. She took us into the town. I think it's called the Small Big City. Is that right? Is that what you call it? Yeah, and it's just so charming. It's got such kind of authentic beauty there, and I think it's quite romantic here as well. So I'm thinking to bring my husband on a private visit to enjoy together. So thank you so much. I'm really grateful to all the speakers who are going to be sharing different aspects of peace education. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mitty, Tohma. I will speak in Slovak for 1 minute, please apologize me. Pre tých z vás, ktorí chcete počúvať ten preklad do slovenčiny, on už beží, takže potrebujete sa pripojiť na Zoom, dať si slúchatka do uší a ten preklad a tlmočenie už funguje. Dobre? Kto potrebuje, môžete to využiť. That was about the translation. It was not a secret message. Our conspiracy. It was about the interpretation. Okay, so the next person to speak will be Ľubica Magnússon. So Ľubica Magnússon is an experienced high school teacher with specialization in biology and European studies at the Bilingual International School in Bratislava. She has a lot of experience in educating and guiding teenagers and young adults in character-based education, as well as European history and values. She has been involved in many international projects and competitions for young people and cooperates with the European Parliament and European Commission. She is a representative of Slovak high school teachers in the European Teachers Testing Panel, which prepares and supervises educational materials on European Union for schools in Europe. Besides that, she serves as the president of Women's Federation for World Peace in Slovakia and organizes domestic and international events to empower women and young people. She's mother of 2 sons, and on a personal note, she is a very devoted teacher, a very warm-hearted person, my long-term friend and colleague. So let's welcome Ľubica.
Thank you very much for nice introduction. I will probably come here. I hope everybody can see me. And surprisingly, I want to speak a little bit about our organization, Women's Federation, because not all of you know about it. But I put this slide because we are on the Conference of Education, and my favorite is Jan Amos Komenský. I think you know him. He's called Teacher of the Nation. He was born in Czech Republic, and I am very much connected to him because my grandfather was born in the same village as Komenský. I just picked 2 quotes which I like, and I think they fit also today. We all stand together in the great theater of the world. Whatever happens here affects all. So, and I think we can feel it, that this is really true, because we are like one family, and if something happens in one part of the world, we are also affected by it. This is a Slovak translation for Slovak people. And the second is also very nice quotation. Let us have but one end in view, the welfare of humanity, and let us put aside all selfishness in consideration of language, nationality, or religion. This is also one very nice thought. He had already that time in 17th century. He was a Protestant priest and running away because there was the war between Catholics and Protestants that time, 30 years war in Europe. Thank you. So I will move on and speak about Women's Federation. It was founded in April 1992 in Seoul, Korea. Already Mitty Tohma spoke a little bit about our founders, Mr. and Mrs. Moon. They founded this organization because they had the vision, or they thought 21st century will be the century where women will play a very important role to help to harmonize the world and maybe heal the world, clean all the problems we have, and women has a great power to do this and contribute to it. So these are just a very brief history. It was established, as I said, 1992. Then our big project is Bridge of Peace. There will be others speaking about it. I just put the first Bridge of Peace was between Japanese and Korean women. They were before enemy countries, so they were reconciliated. We also receive general consultative status by UN Economic and Social Council. And thanks to that, we have now offices. We have office in New York, we have office in Vienna and in Geneva, and my colleagues will speak more about the work there. And in 2012, there was inaugurated the Global Women Peace Network. So we joined or we work together with other organizations across the world to make this world better. This is one quote I picked from Dr. Hak Chan Moon. When women all over the world join hands and become sisters to each other, their men will stop fighting and killing each other. And I think we can also put here when all first ladies, recently we were on such a meeting, first ladies will join hands, then their husbands, which are different presidents and leaders, they can start to talk together and stop fighting. And parents will not cry over the losses of their sons and daughters. I want to only pick one event from UN because we participated, and my students are here who also participated in Vienna in February, and it was Youth Changemakers Forum. I don't know if Andy is here. He's supposed to come. So he was one of the organizers. And my students, they were presenting their projects, and you will also hear them today. So one activity we are doing conferences on European level. And we invite not only our Women's Federation member, but different organizations, and we bring different topics. And this is always wonderful, wonderful networking, and we inspire each other and hear about different problems in different parts of the world. And these conferences are really very nice. This was one in Cyprus. Then we have, this is still from Cyprus, so you can see all continents are there. Even this is European, but we have people from also Africa and other countries. And last November it was in Poland. You can see diverse again like membership or people who were there, participants. Also men are coming now more and more. Here my son is always supporting me And he is very proud to be Women's Federation IT. I don't know, but yeah, here coming. And in 2022, we started a very nice project, 3 countries, between Austria, Hungary, and Slovakia. It was actually in the year 2022, when the war in Ukraine started. And it was one of the drive behind this cooperation. I thought we should rather cooperate neighboring countries to avoid some, war conflict. So we created sisterhood. Okay. Yeah, we met in Bratislava, then we met in Vienna, and also we met in Budapest last year. And we also created Bridge of Peace between the 3 countries, and we always pick up some topics on which we discuss and cooperate. And actually today we're starting the second round with our conference, and we have our partners here from Austria and Hungary, so I'm very happy. Thank you very much for Katsio coming from Hungary, and from all Renate and all Austrian brothers, sisters, and supporters. Thank you very much. And also we prepared this conference together. This is one of our activities, just to pick one. This was about the history of women's movement in Europe and Middle East. We had also I spoke about the history of European women movement, and this is a lady from Iran. And she told us about the situation in Iran and the situation especially of women in Iran. Very, very precious presentation. And we also had then we are networking, and we always like to have coffee and speak together. This is our second or other project, and these were discussions over the sexual education in schools. Because there is a lot of discussion in our society about this topic, and so we had some panel discussion with experts. This was about we also do charity work. For example, we collected money for Gaza incubator. And recently we went to Ladies Summit. It was in Korea. There were first ladies from different countries. And so we could meet them and listen to their speeches and stories. And this was the title, Women Charting a Peaceful Future Through Cooperation, Reconciliation and Healing. And we celebrated there our 33rd anniversary and had a Bridge of Peace. These were very, very moving events because there was Bridge of Peace between USA and Russia. She's from Russia and she's from USA to solve global issues, to somehow overcome the enmity. And then France and Ivory Coast, it was about colonization in the past and how to overcome still the resentment people feel about this. Then we have Bridge of Peace between Korea and Japan. There were former enemy countries with very strong resentment. And then Sri Lanka and Guatemala, diverse religions and cultures. And then at the end there was a award, Global Women Peace Ambassadors. We have our Katka here. I don't know where she is, but she's here with us. One of the organizers, she received the Global Peace Award, and there is also Renate Valachová from Nitra. She is also our ambassador now. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ľubica. That was a speed run, kind of, but she mentioned just few of the activities and projects just for the taste of it. So our next presenter will be Mrs. Renate Amesbauer. She is president of Women's Federation for World Peace Austria. She is co-initiator of Women's Federation for World Peace Austrian chapter since '92 and General Secretary of Women's Federation UN Vienna team, because we also have a representative of UN office from Geneva coming later, but Mrs. Renate works in Vienna. So she co-organizes conferences and so-called side events. She will explain what is that at UN office, and supports networking and good practice projects in and out of Women's Federation worldwide, organizes conferences and gatherings for multicultural local women's group, cooperates with other like-minded organizations, and so on. On a personal note, one of the most sacrificial persons I know. I'm very proud to have her here. And let's welcome Renate. Thank you.
No, this one. Sorry. Yeah, thank you very much, Mirka, for this very nice welcome and overemphasizing it. But also, actually, I'm the secretary of the Women's Federation UN office, and our director sits right here. It's Maria Riehl from Vienna, in Vienna. But I'm very, very happy that I'm living in Vienna. I'm also happy I lived in other countries, but also I came back to Vienna because it's a UN country. It's a UN place, a UN location. And as you mentioned, because we come from Vienna, and I think I'm almost the only Austrian in the group of 20 or so. Oh, Josef. Yeah. So we are, I think, about 20 people, and I think it's 10 different nationalities at least, because Vienna became a very international place. It was not like that when I was a child. When I was a child, someone who looked a little bit different, you kind of looked, oh, he's this person, yeah? Do you dare to talk to him? So I'm very grateful for Bruno Kreisky, who brought the UN to Vienna in 1977, I think it was. And I always hear the Viennese people didn't like it very much, but anyway, he was stronger, so he did it. So this is the UN, and actually this is part of the building they painted last year. For 1 year, someone was painting from Australia, a painter who was famous for painting on walls, painted this picture. It's the woman breaking through into freedom. So it's the white dove. And yes, so what can we do as Women Federation? As Women Federation, we are an NGO. We are not a government, we are an NGO. And I always feel NGOs are like a floating in the sky. This is satellite, floating in the sky. And like with the television, you connect when you like it. Yeah? So people who like us, they connect with us. And we're always very grateful when we come with our talks and government representatives connect with us. And we're very grateful for that because it gives us like a string to the ground. So what we can do is these side events. We discovered this 2016. I think we did the first one with Elisabeth Riehl. Yeah. And the side event is an opportunity to do an event of now 1 hour in a framework of a big commission, big conference lasting 1 week. And in Vienna, we did not choose it. The topic is prevention, crime prevention, prevention of misuse of narcotic drugs. These very sad topics, but they have to be dealt with. But we always say, okay, where is the prevention? And prevention starts in the family and starts in the way how young people grow up. If they grow up in a family with parents, with grandparents, they have a safe surrounding, then they can grow up to become a healthy thinking person of 20 years of age, and then they somehow can go their way, hopefully stay connected with their parents and grandparents. Even there was a study made that children, young people, when they keep connected, even beyond the 30 years of age with their families, that is stabilizing. It is such a positive effect for all participants. This is a WHO study was made about that. So a side event is CND, is narcotic drug, Commission Narcotic Drugs, and this is strengthening resilience of young people through strengthening family, this is one young girl, she talked about how young people can encourage each other. We had 2 governments supporting us. It was a Philippine government representative and Jordan. The Charge d'Affaires from Jordan was also helping us. And then, of course, after that, we have talks with each other and we meet other NGOs and cooperations are starting. So from this side event on, we have a cooperation with Uganda and Gabi Zürer, maybe some of you know Gabriele Zürer. She is giving lectures like once in 2 months about family relationships, about couple relationships via Zoom. We are so grateful because you cannot travel all the time via Zoom. They are listening, 20, 30 people. They are social workers, and then they take it, and thanks to Lili Gundaka, who is always, since she helps us so much, she's retired, she helps us, to have everything on Zoom, and Tony Cook, to have a video of everything. Then they take these videos and the material, they go into the villages and teach and train the people there because they feel they want to learn about healthy relationships, parents and children, healthy relationships in the couples. Yeah. So they're very grateful, and we are grateful for Gabi that she can do this. So I have to be quick. This was an event about the CCP, CG is Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice. After 3 times, you know it. And this is about family. And we can raise this topic at the UN. In the city, Vienna city does not have one part of the government dealing with family. But at the UN we can talk about family, and there are people that are very grateful that we do it, because UNODC, United Nations Organization of Drugs and Crime, has a department dealing with how to strengthen families. Because whatever problems a child has, you can minimize these problems when the family relationships are working. And Dr. Malouf is the second on the left. He is the one who is really, I think, one of the motors behind this, because he's such an excited father himself. And we have other organizations we are working together with on the right, from Elternwerkstatt. Today you are here. Today the founder is here of Elternwerkstatt. She will talk herself. And this is her colleague and now director of this organization. So we're very grateful we can talk about it. And again, Philippine government was supporting us. This was in the UNTOC, United Nations Convention on Transnational Organized Crime. If you sit there for 2 days, sometimes I really have to take a break. It's so heavy to listen to all of this. But then we said, what helps to prevent this crime, to help young people? So again, we took the topic of education. If you educate people, if you give young people chances in a country, I mean, I'm not talking about Austria or Slovakia, but other countries, if they have a chance to learn, go to school, learn something, and have a job opportunities, then you can minimize these problems also. And this panel was special also. It was in October last year, and it was a young person with the Jewish hat. He is organizing a young people's group, bringing together Jewish and Palestinian young people. And he was talking, and our friend from UNODC, Dr. Wadi Malouf, he's a Lebanese. And in the back, in the technique, supporting us, besides Lily, was a Palestinian person. When we sat there, everybody was crying because this young man just showed videos of young people from the country where he lives, Israel, talking about each other. I mean, he's coming again in summer, middle of summer. He is very decisive, very decided not to let the young people down in his country. And this man in the technique, first he said, "What are you doing here?" Because we were not supposed to be on Zoom. But we brought our owl and we were on Zoom, and he said, "Please give it to me, we will do it for you." And then he was also crying because he said, "You have all the time you need." It was 14th of October last year. Then we have another colleague, Filipino ladies, 3 of them are here, are very energetic women, and we have a Filipino colleague, and she makes online events. She says we have also online, she meets so many people, wherever she goes, she meets so many people with interesting projects. So like once in a month we have an online program where they can talk about their activities and present their programs. It's not limited to a country. So we can again learn from each other and encouraging to know there's other people also investing in a better society. Always is very encouraging as well. And then we have more opportunities to be at the UN. UN Vienna is very supportive for NGOs, And they create opportunities of dialogue between NGOs and governments. When they had their special discussions, then they should sit and listen to what NGOs are saying to the topics of trafficking, human trafficking, smuggling of migrants, and these kind of things. And again, it's a chance to be there and meet very nice people from other countries. This is a very nice young lady from Kenya. And then we connect her with our Kenyan colleague. And then they meet there and they can work together. So it's really creating this network of those who are really striving hard. And then we actually also, again, a Filipino colleague from the UN office in New York, she said, Renate, I'm coming to Austria. I want to talk about the Bridges of Peace, how this helps these segregated societies of multiculturalism and young people often having hard times to deal with each other. I want to present this project in Vienna. So we made our way through as Women Federation to have enough support to be allowed to make a conference of our own at the UN in Vienna. We're very happy for that. This was the family picture afterwards. No, this is not. This is you. Some people here might find themselves here. This was the Changemakers Forum. Ľubica talked about it when we had young people also from Bratislava in the UN in Vienna. This was another experience in the cooperation with Philippine diaspora, with this Andreas Penafuti, who is somehow on his way here. He's a medium person and he's full of energy. Yeah, these were our side events this year. We reached out to Mexico. We had a side event in the narcotic drug session. Again, strengthening resilience, and the government of Mexico happily supported us and with a doctor, she from the ministry. And yeah, and then I had another picture that got lost. No problem. Because afterwards we're always very happy, so making too many pictures. And then only recently in May we had this topic of combating domestic violence, inspired by a young colleague from Kosovo, because she's teaching young people, she's talking with young people in the medical area about relationships also in the family. And then we could gain support of the Albanian embassy and online also the embassy of North Macedonia. And again, we could also give the floor to other organizations who were dealing with the threat of radicalization of youth, which we don't realize in Austria, but it is there in other countries. Oh, I wanted to say thank you. Somebody didn't come with it. Thank you.
Our topic now in this first session is education for peace. And as you can see, we have quite a few panelists who will approach this topic from different viewpoints. And we believe we can really inspire each other and learn from each other and take the knowledge of the young and of the mature and combine it all together. Get inspired and make something new after this conference on our own or with the help of friends. So the first person that I would like to introduce is Mrs. Suzuko Hirschmann. She's the president of Women's Federation Styria, born in Japan, lives in Austria for over 40 years. As you can see, she is a person with Oriental or Japanese origin, and she used this at the beginning challenge and turned it into an opportunity. And she used her talents to present Japanese culture and became a speaker and presenter at various events and conferences. She started a creative artistic project, Color My Heart for Peace, which was a painting contest for children, first locally, but later on nationwide. And then she initiated a project called Peace Through Education. And this is what she will present today. I'm very happy to hear about this because we feel it's a very important topic to educate ourselves in this area. Thank you very much.
This is for, yeah, this one is for. Yeah, okay. So I'm sorry that my English is not so good. That's why I have to read my text. So as she introduced for me, that I'm living already 40 years in Austria, but I feel maybe 70% I'm Japanese still, 30% Austrian. So I'm very honored to speak you about the project Peace Through Education. And honestly, I am not an expert in education, but I do have some experience in creating spaces where young and older people, I'm expert, can come together to share their work and commitment to character education and healthy families and prosperity, peace in a society and the world. And 2023, we started organizing an online event series. We had 5 events that year. And 2024, we have held 4 online events. And this year, we have held already 2 events so far. And we are planning two more, one in August and one in September. So you may have heard about a tragic incident that happened in Graz, Austria. So I live not far from there. So it was deep shock for everyone. And now many people are starting to ask, what can we do better to prevent such a terrible tragedies? So we need to improve education at school, and not only to give children knowledge and skills for a good job or a career, but also to help them grow into the good people with a strong character and sense of their responsibility. Social attitude and value should be taught in a school so children can grow into good citizens. So let me give an example. Our planet rotated on the axis and also revolved around the sun. So in a similar way, every person has 2 purposes. And we live our own happiness, and at the same time, we live for others, for parents, our parents or siblings, and classmates, and society, and so on. So if someone say, I live however I want, I don't care about others, this attitude cannot build a happy family or a good relationship with others. So self-centered character even can hurt others and even harm the society. Another example, in traffic, if someone say, I have a freedom, so I will drive however I want. And if many people think this way, it will cause an accident and create a chaos. And in the end, even freedom is lost. So driver must follow the traffic rules, and this show that freedom also comes with a responsibility. So for this kind of education, we invite experts and teachers, mothers, and workers, social workers and project leaders, not only to share their knowledge, but especially to share their personal experiences. So if we work together, we can have a great impact on a society. And now I would like to briefly show the PowerPoint presentation. So first of all, online event, 2023. For example, our topic was how can we help children to strengthen their self-esteem? How can we help children to resolve conflict with other children? How can we motivate the children to participate and learn? So these topics we discuss and talk and discuss 2023 and 2024. Topics were dealing with, Why the 24? Anyway, okay, maybe wrong writing. Dealing with the media and freedom and responsibility. How can communication succeed? And experiences of character education at school. Yeah, I wrote. And 2025, this year, we had two events, and topics were peace start with education and visibility. And my experience as a teacher, and peace through education to freedom, and 5 languages of love. So each year through this online event, we created a brochure, and so that after we can also read the summary of each speakers. So we'll also create also this year as well, after the events. So this is our team. And Renate, as you know, everyone. And Sarah, where is Sarah? Yeah, Sarah, and myself. And Nadia, she's our new young lady. She's studying music, and she said she won't join us. So we started with 4 in this year. So next is a painting exhibition. Yeah. About painting competition and exhibition. Actually, about 30 years ago, 10 Japanese Women's Federation members came to Austria for 3 years to work for Women's Federation activities. And after they went back to Japan, and one member of them started to organize children drawing competition worldwide. And she asked me to use this award drawings, and I started to ask mayor or principals of the middle school for organizing this exhibition. So we could have an exhibition in a city hall and also junior high school. This one is a city hall, and the left, the man, he is a mayor, city mayor. So we did also in a school exhibition, and she is a principal, and we could make an opening ceremony, and I think 3 or 4 weeks, it was an exhibition in a school. So we also, I did also this in another school, and I give to the winners prize and certification. So this is somehow our also project team for painting. The left one is my daughter, and she's also a teacher in an elementary school. And middle one, she said she wants to do for painting. So she really wants to organize also with us. And so actually 3 years we have a break, so not really every year. But because of her, somehow we hope that we can make again this painting competition. So I think it was. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Hirschmann. It's a wonderful project that people can do locally, and it's just so good to do local things too. We try to work very much on an international scale, but in my mind, the local projects are so precious, and I like them very much. So our next speaker will be Dr. Maria Riehl, and she is director of Women's Federation UN Vienna office. She was a chairperson in committee on peace. She organizes lectures and conferences on the topic of peace and reconciliation, global citizenship, education, a huge topic of disarmament and abolishing nuclear weapons, education in crime prevention, etc., for over 20 years. To make it brief, I'm sorry, I'm not reading all the bio. She works in humanitarian projects. She's a medical doctor with practice for more than 37 years, mother of 5 children and grandmother of 11 grandchildren. And let's welcome Dr. Maria Riehl.
Thank you very much for the nice introduction. I was born in this country. And to be here is always something touching for me. Crying is forbidden, exactly. We need to smile, so I continue with smiling. I live in Vienna since July 1968. So Vienna Austria is my second hometown, and I love Vienna very much, and even other countries too. Since 2092, we were created as a Women's Federation for World Peace International. You listened to the introduction about it. I don't need to mention it again. And since 1997, we are accepted as an international NGO with ECOSOC status, accredited to the United Nations. It means we can give our recommendation to the work of the United Nations. Everybody knows about the history of United Nations. It started after the World War II, when the suffering of the people was so high that they decided never ever we will fight against each other. We discovered that we are brothers and sisters, we are one family. Living on this planet Earth. And there were many projects, many solutions, many declarations from many countries. It's a study what maybe Ľubica can explain more clearly how many nations were coming together, winner and loser nations. This time even Russia, together with United States, France, Great Britain, so all the 4 countries taking part of the World War II. After the accreditation as an ECOSOC NGO group, I came into the United Nations in Vienna. Before I was only medical doctor, so people, when they came to me in person, we sit just face to face and talking very privately. Coming to the United Nations, I felt, I cannot go like without my clothes. I need to have something. I represent something. I need to know exactly what our Women's Federation goal is. What can I say? Why I am here? And our biggest tool is the bridge of peace. In our days, from these activities, you listened also about these activities. The first point is forgiveness or reconciliation between former enemy countries. It means, again, coming to the understanding, who is my enemy? In reality, we have no enemy. We can make voice like lion, we can make voice like tiger, or we can move like, we can watch everything around us. And we can have relationship with everything around us. So who is my enemy? So this question appears always in my mind. Because like human being and like even parents, father and mother, we see our children, they are not the same, so different. And sometimes even fighting starts. On the football, my grandchildren are playing football, and they give, was it Tor or not? Goal, yes. What is goal or not? So we need, so we need to find solution. Otherwise, we cannot continue. They are fighting and discussing, and yeah, the same is what we should eat. Next discussion. So many communications is necessary to decide, decision-making process, and then make it. And then everybody is happy for today. Tomorrow, next process starts. So with this background, I came to the United Nations, and we have many commissions, like Renate Amesbauer explained to you. And we tried in many committees. There are working group with NGOs with the same status as we have, with ECOSOC status. And in our days, also individuals with some vision, some dream can be accepted to be part of this committee. On the end, I landed at the Committee on Peace because it was afternoon on Wednesday when I was free. And after my work, I went in, and the chairperson place on his side was always empty. So when I was standing on the door, so he always make like this, come sit on my side. So I came in and I listened. The topics of the Committee on Peace are two. First is demilitarization and disarmament. Thank you, Carolyn. First is disarmament. This time we watched the development of the world. It was 1998, so not so complicated as in our days, but still we had weapons. So we were writing letters to the governments, to the Ministry for Foreign Affairs, to the presidents, to Red Cross, to Green Cross, to many organizations helping us to develop strong voice. Mainly with the organization, they are taking care of the consequences of the war. On this way, we also could meet Berta von Suttner, lady from born in Czech Republic and living long time in Austria. And as you all know, she received first Nobel Prize for Peace, 1905. Speaking endless to the men, to the women, to the people, to the world, please don't fight, don't kill each other. If you have different attitude, talk to each other and try to understand the situation of the others. Through a bridge of studying of the background of the enmity, why enmity appears. Maybe I can mention the situation of two children of our first ancestors. In Christian terminology, we call them Adam and Eve. Their children wanted to serve God, the Creator, the origin of all creation, the parents of all of their parents. And they were in different positions. One was successful and one not. And who can help them to learn, to understand their situation? How can I accept my situation, for example, like loser, and to look at the happy and accepted person and to ask, how did you do? Please teach me. Show me. I wish also to be accepted, to be successful. In this way, from study of the Bible, the situation didn't go well. The loser felt, if I make him not beside, so only I am on this earth, and only I can be accepted, but my grandparents or Creator, God Himself. But it doesn't work like this. He was scared. After he killed his brother, he has very bad conscience and was very unhappy. He wanted to hide him. When you study this, you can understand. So, in this way, like parents or like person, we try to understand. Sometimes we are successful, sometimes not. But we have always somebody whom can we ask for help? Whom can we open our suffering or problems, yeah? And receive the answer. So this we could study through the Bridge of Peace ceremonies. We can practice it with ourselves, with our husband, with our children, with nations, and create sisterhood. This was our founder, Mother Moon, was teaching us. If women are doing this, so also husbands cannot fight. If women are friendly to each other, becoming sisters, so they give good report to the husbands. So they say, oh, this man is interesting, he's not so bad. Listen to him. Maybe if we work together, we can develop something more. So, on this way, we can do disarmament. 2 days ago, we have had a meeting on Committee on Peace with the new chairperson, Mr. Peter Haider from Austria, and some people from Slovakia also came to Austria, to Vienna, and we could participate and listen to two persons. One person was medical doctor, he also spoke about the consequences of war and consequences of using weapon against each other from medical viewpoint. His NGO, also with ECOSOC status and also winner of Nobel Prize for Peace many years ago, he even medicine developed through these illnesses. They appear after using weapons, especially nuclear weapon. Next person was ambassador for foreign affairs from Austria, who is chairperson for disarmament issues at the United Nations. Non-Proliferation Treaty is the name from this treaty, and since 2017 is forbidden officially from 167 nations from the accredited or participated in the United Nations. Every investment in development of nuclear weapon and all kind of weapon, from biological, all what we can even imagine or not imagine, because we are not expert in this field, or I am not so total expert. It is forbidden. So who is following it? How our world looks today? We were called to speak out loudly, like civil society, and in my dream, I was dreaming, I should say, parents, we need parents, our planet need parental heart. Fathers and mothers united for the sake of the children. So then maybe the leaders of the nations can understand the prohibition of development of every kind of weapon in this world. So this is my work at the Committee on Peace, and this is our work together, like civil society, practicing bridges of peace and practicing the understanding between people, starting in the family and developing to the worldwide level. The same for this I wish for everybody of us, and this is the meaning of our meeting today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Riehl. I am really moved, I have to say, because it's a huge scale, working on international forums and meeting politicians and diplomats, and then also having the local projects. And I have to say, only when I hear the word disarmament, I'm almost crying, because it looks so absurd in these days. For me, it's just, I'm very moved you are dealing with these efforts, because it seems an impossible mission, doesn't it? But yes, you are not giving up. Thank you. And the next speaker would be Mrs. Carolyn Handschin, and she is Vice President of Women's Federation World Peace International, and she is leading United Nations relations globally, which means worldwide. Would you like to speak? Shall I shorten your bio?
Yeah, I would say, because in fact that's not, it's a little bit older version. Huh? Hello, everyone. Actually, I was for a long time, I had Mitty's job for 12 years, and I also directed or guided the offices for UN relations globally until very recently. And now I'm happy to say I'm back in Geneva, and I'm just taking care of Geneva UN office. And actually finding all the time when doors close, new ones open, many times even seemingly more important, actually. So, yeah, PowerPoint. So I was asked to speak about, I am also a mother of 7 children, very wonderful, loving husband, and 4 granddaughters. So I wanted to talk today, there'd be so many things to talk about, actually, but I wanted to talk today about our youth programs at the UN in Geneva, which actually Ľubica was going to bring some students. I don't know if any of them are in the audience who were going to come to Geneva. Yeah. So I can't say as much as I would say if you were in the training in Geneva, but I will give an overview. And so the point I wanted to make is that if we're going to become leaders, or if we are leaders, much more importantly than understanding all the mechanisms or the skills is really where you want to lead to, where you want, like Maria was saying the same thing, where you want to take everyone if you are leading. So, and I think among us, we all understand family. Strong families are so important, actually. So, oh, that's me. I have to do it. Huh? Okay. So I chose to, in Geneva, of course, we have many different UN bodies from labor and health and refugees and migration, many, actually about 4 dozen different UN bodies there. But at the Human Rights Council, which is the main place that I work, of course, we're talking about human rights. And the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, everyone knows that. Anyone especially studied about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights here? Or would like to? It's very amazing document. It is a declaration, so that means it's not binding. It's not, you're not committing a crime when you don't follow it, but it became so powerful just through the peer pressure, actually, of nations looking at each other and comparing their human rights records. So it's a very kind of headwing, a very kind of enlightened way of working, I would say. So 3 questions I want to ask in this are, so what are the opportunities for especially young leaders or any of us, NGOs, civil society? How can we get into the UN? How can we make some impact there at the UN, especially at the Human Rights Council in Geneva? But final and most important question is why? Why should we even bother doing that? So our leadership training has different components. This is a very shortened version, but it's called Leadership Training for Advocacy and Diplomacy and working with the United Nations. So, so one is, of course, this historic overview of the United Nations, and in particular, the human rights, all the different human rights mechanisms, they're called. Huh? And then the second part is learning to align our goals as NGOs, as civil society, with the goals of the United Nations, because the language is not the same. We have to really, actually, if you want to engage and be successful and be listened to, you have to understand the other person. Like I have to try to understand what you're expecting from me right now. And so that takes time, and that's something that we can help you with, the Women's Federation, who has now been working at the UN for a long time. And then part of it is meeting with UN experts. I've been working in Geneva for 30 years now. I know many people at the UN, many experts, heads of agencies, many governments, leaders, ambassadors. So we make the experience where you can meet the experts personally and understand that actually it is, the UN is not some mysterious, incomprehensible place. It's made up of people like you and me, actually, who were young at one time and who had dreams and sometimes forsook their dreams and are happy to meet young people, actually, because it reminds them of what they were dreaming about. And then one exciting part of this program is we have a mock Human Rights Council session. For those who know Model UN, we all meet together. First, we prepare statements together, and we work on our ideas that we want to present, to make, to lead to resolutions. And so we do that over some hours. And then we actually have a session like a Human Rights Council with the chairperson, and then we have to all fight for our points. And we all try to be especially, hard on each other, like putting up questions, maybe that's not going to work, or that's not a good idea. And we have to learn to really fight, because you have to be strong. You have to be able to fight for your ideas. And then at the end, we have over several sessions, we have this, we come together and we think how we can work together. Even we have different issues, like here with our partner here, they have 3 or 4 different main issues, but we have to really help each other and promote each other's ideas and issues. So, and then the second part of it is we go to the United Nations across the street from our Women's Federation office, and we take part in the Human Rights Council for 1 week. I have now a team of about 8 people at the UN in Geneva, and young people. And this is just an example of between 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning on the first day, you could attend a session, informal consultation on the resolution on empowering women and girls through sport. So it's not all boring issues, actually. It's kind of exciting things. Also, or you could go to another room and you could take part in a draft resolution on the rights to peaceful assembly, or even, this is more dramatic, maybe fewer people attending, but the impact of arms transfers, armament, guns, and weapons. So as these young, leaders, future leaders, participate in these events, they can see how these discussions are going among governments, how they're fighting for their issues. And then, in fact, there was also this particular session that's going on now is focusing on women especially. So we have plenaries on women's rights. And then also at that same week, the Women's Federation had an event on domestic violence with 2 ambassadors. We had the special rapporteur on violence against women. We had several academics. We had the Women's Federation. Anyway, so there are many, many things to choose from, and you can have a really immersion in the United Nations work in this program. So I'm going to skip through because I don't want to miss the last few slides. And this is just a little bit something about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Maybe you can look it up if you don't know so much. Eleanor Roosevelt, of course, was but my main point about this is the Universal Declaration was adopted in 1948, but it is still being interpreted. And that's why we need good minds we need good minds who understand points like the importance of family, to be able to be in there and put up a fight when somebody is trying to tell us that some other points are more important. So we need really to train ourselves in these areas. So again, that's the room, the Human Rights Council room with this incredible ceiling that was donated by the government of Spain. And it's a very exciting things going on. 3 times a year for about 4 or 5 weeks, there are these debates, Human Rights Council debates, and NGOs, civil society is involved. We have places to sit, and we are, after every government debate, NGOs are invited to make their points as well. So then there is one. Besides the Human Rights Council, within the Human Rights Council, there's something that was just adopted. It's also a long story, but it's called the Universal Periodic Review. Universal Periodic Review. And it's a review where, beginning in 2006, when the Human Rights Commission became the Human Rights Council, they initiated this, and it's a review. It's called a peer review. That means, again, governments are looking at each other, scrutinizing each other, and every 4 or 5 years, the governments have to make a report, and then they listen to everyone else's report, and then other governments make some recommendations to those, saying, well, why didn't you do more since last time? And it's a very, very interesting kind of discussion that you can participate in, actually. And then civil society, I put in yellow, because civil society, with all governments, we can also make reports from our point of view, considering even on these points related to family, or, we can say yes, but in our community, we see the government is doing differently, and we are trying to work with them to change that. And so it can be very, very interactive. And then there are other areas which I'm not going to go into, but it's not just the Human Rights Council. There are other different committees and things. And then just a word about the NGOs. So from the beginning, from the founding of the UN, NGOs were invited in mostly because the women NGO leaders at that time were really fighting for that. And they were very united in this point. So they fought for that, and even from the very beginning, there was an Article 71 of the UN Charter. 1945, already where it was written that the United Nations should engage with civil society. They understood you can't just sit in a room and decide everything. You need to have constant going back to the civil society and making sure that it's what you're talking about is actually the reality. So anyway, these are just some of the areas which you can imagine. You can have my PowerPoint if you want after. Okay. So I wanted, just maybe here. So we heard about all the projects of Women's Federation. Our founding goal, our founding kind of motto was humankind is one family, sharing one home, the earth. And the UN motto is very similar. It's one human family. And they need to be constantly reminded of that, actually. So our history is we went from the beginning of humanitarian projects, really serving from the bottom up, and now, and with periodic opportunities to speak, like the founder spoke at the United Nations. And now, as you heard from Vienna and Geneva as well, we had already this year, I think we had about 10 different opportunities at the UN to hold panels or to make statements or to different activities. And I just wanted to show this, that is me presenting at the last year, 2024, we spent the year. I'm the president of the NGO Committee on the Status of Women in Geneva, and we spent the year gathering recommendations from NGOs all from California to Russia, this huge region. And Geneva was the hub, and I was the president of this organization, and we collected recommendations, we fought them out for 1 year, and then last year, I was asked to report to the intergovernmental body about, of course, it's hard to squeeze this down, into 5 minutes, but anyway, I did my best. And so just to say, as you have heard from the other, from our other UN venues, that the Women's Federation has done incredible work, actually, over the recent years. So I want to skip ahead to something. This is one of our projects, the annual Youth Peace Conference, where we drew up peace accords between Israeli and Palestinian youth. That was the outcome document. We did the same last year in Lebanon with Lebanese youth. We went there and drew up a peace accord when we were told that you cannot talk about peace in Lebanon. And we said, no, we can talk with young people about peace. And sure enough, we made, again, a peace accord there. These are some of our different kinds of online internships. And just to, maybe I will end with this part. So actually, there is a point in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights about family, of course. The family is the natural and fundamental group unit of society and is entitled to protection by society and state. So that is very general. So the UN needs people like us, young people like you, to help them understand what that means. Otherwise, it can be misinterpreted, and people are trying to misinterpret it. So we have to, so my final point is, if we look at the evolution of human rights and why families are important, we can say that rights have developed over time from just basic rights, civil and political rights, and then development, right to development is kind of a newer interpretation. Now we talk about the right to peace, even now about the right to happiness. So there are all these kind of renewed interpretations which are happening. But what has not followed with the same kind of evolution is the responsibilities, the duties that go along with it. So this is up to us to remind everyone about this, that if each human right is fulfilled, each of these 30 articles of the Human Rights Declaration is fulfilled, would we be living just automatically in a culture of peace? No, actually, no. It comes back to, again, family and what we learn. We need incentives about our duties, not just because we will be put in jail if we don't fulfill our responsibilities, but the incentive that comes in families when children are young and they learn actually that they should be taking care of the neighbor. They should be taking care of their brothers and sisters. And also there's an article about duty to the community. And this, so this is something that I have kind of over the years developed. It's something called familiarchy. We talk about patriarchy, matriarchy, and familiarchy is kind of a, actually I got this as an inspiration some years ago, because we can't just blame everything on patriarchy like it's all men's fault. And I could make a whole lecture about this, but I won't. But let's rethink it and think if actually familiarchy is the point where we all have equal kind of value and we're all supporting each other. We learn from each other. And expanding to the point from individual development, family cohesion, community leadership. Leadership in the world is based upon men and women working together. Okay, thank you. I'm stopping.
I'd like to invite now our next speaker, which is Mrs. Maria Neuberger-Schmidt. Welcome. And she's from Austria. She's mother of 4 adult children and 2 stepchildren. She's also grandmother of 3 grandchildren. She studied French, psychology, ethnology, and is a social counselor, an author, trainer, coach. She's author of a workshop for parents, which is called ABC Parent Driver's License. All right. It's a driver's license for parents. Good to know. And she also deals with education and family counseling in the event of separations and divorces. So let's welcome Mrs. Maria Neuberger-Schmidt.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, everybody. I'm very proud to be here because I very much appreciate Universal Peace Federation, the Women Federation for World Peace, and it's an honor to be part. And we are really in a very, very serious situation worldwide. Everybody wants to have more weapon, more arms, threatening each other, wars going on, even in Europe. It's horrible. And I ask myself, who has the right to give order to me to go and kill somebody else or to get killed? I think we need like a referendum if people want to have more weapons, if people want to go, nations want to go for war. And I think the first duty of a president of whatever nation is to be a peacemaker. Otherwise he has to go. He is no good. And it's not about America first, Austria first, France first, whoever first. No, we need to cooperate in respect and in fairness. Well, so I was focusing after the age of 40 to become a counselor and a trainer, and because we need to have a job, so we have a profession. We are getting training, that's very good. But the most important job in this world is to be a parent. And there is no such training. And then I said to myself, I got motivated and dedicated for 25 years to train parents and to give counseling. Well, on one hand, you can say the lion mom, she has no training. She is raising her kids very well. To be a parent is something very natural, and we do have natural instincts to raise our children. And the first instinct is mother love, father love. That will guide us. But also, the world has become very complex. There is no such one opinion how to raise children. And it has changed a lot in, let's say, after the Second World War. Before that time, parents were raising their children with a lot of authority. You have to be obedient. I tell you what to do, and that's good enough. And the nation became obedient to the point to be obedient to go to war and to fight against each other, not because I hate the enemy, I don't even know him, but somebody tells me to do so. So we need to be guided by our own consciousness, which is given to everyone. God gives us this consciousness, what is good and what is bad. So parents were getting away from the authoritarian approach. Okay, anti-authoritarian, let's try that. Children are free to do whatever they like. And that didn't go so well. Not. And then they said, okay, parents and children, we are partners with equal rights. And I have to discuss everything with my child till we get to a common solution. So that's mediation, that's very good between adults. To be equal, but then I found out even with my own children, something went wrong. So why? Because I was treating them on that equal level. And then I realized, as a parent, you have to be aware of three. You have to give freedom to your children. Okay, let them play, let them dream, sleep, whatever they like, according to their age. You know, a baby can do whatever it likes. But on the other hand, the parents decide just everything for the baby. So they are guided in a very strong way. But when the child gets mature more and more, it wants to talk. It wants to express opinions. And so this is why slowly, we raise them to be responsible and on an equal level. According to the age, we can, when there is a children's party, so we will involve the children. What would you like to have? What is important for you? And more and more. But there is also guidance with a certain kind of authority. We are not on the same level, but the parents are like leaders. That's simple, actually. If in a company, it's very clear who is the boss and who is the apprentice, who gives order to whom. But this has to be clear. It has to be discussed. The boss wouldn't ask his apprentice for each question to what shall I do? No. But a good leader is inviting his co-workers to give feedback, to give ideas. And a good leader wouldn't take any important decision without consulting the team, even the smallest and the most little ones. And so in a family, it can be a little bit the same. Now, and I was focusing very much on efficient communication, how to listen and how to express myself so that the children can understand what I want them to do. But I needed to connect. And so the parents, let's say there was one example. The one mom, she was even an academic, and she had a 4-year-old daughter. And she said, yes, I discussed with my child about the TV program and so on. And then there was a situation, I told her, no, you're not allowed to watch this. And the 4-year-old said, Mom, that's not fair. You watch whatever you like. Why should I not watch what I like? So take a breath, and then you realize, because I have responsibility. I wouldn't give a tutorial to my husband what he's allowed to watch or not to watch, because we are at the same level. We discuss it, but for my child sometimes, I may say, so of course this question also came up in my family, and my daughter said, you don't allow me, why? And I said, because I am the mom, and you are the child, and one day you will be a mom, you will tell your children what they are allowed to see. So there is, you set boundaries, but from the perspective of your responsibility as a parent. And of course, you can discuss it, but there comes a point when I discuss, I explain 3 times why this or that has to be done, and there is opposition, no, no, no. And then I say, is it that you cannot understand? I can explain one more time. Or is it that you do not want to accept? That's a different situation. So what's the problem? Tell me about your resistance. What is opposing you to do what I say? And then we get into discussion and we can solve the problem. And in order to get a feeling, I tell the parents, you know what, the most important thing when in whatever situation, don't react immediately, just take a breath. Take the time of a breath, okay, and get into your feeling. Is my child very overwhelmed? So then it needs maybe a hug. It needs that I listen to my child. What's the problem? Or is my child just in opposition? No, 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 no. Then I need to feel, does my child is really respecting me at the time? Or just trying to play a game with mom? This is what happened to me, and I didn't notice that they were playing a game with me. One was very good at that. So we shouldn't lose control because it is our responsibility. And there is a most beautiful song, which is probably everybody knows, Raise Me Up. And this is our duty as parents, raise our children up. And then in our classes, now I switch. At the beginning, we ask ourselves, what are the goals of your education as a mom? What do you think? What would you like to achieve when one day they will be adult? And most parents say, I want my child to be happy and successful. That is great. I would say, yes, go for it. But there's one more thing, and you know, Sigmund Freud, for instance, he said, children and humans need to have the capability to love. Yes, that's the most important. And they have to have the capability to work. Yes, to be successful, to be efficient. But there is a third one, which Viktor Frankl said, that is, have the capability to suffer. Oh God, I don't want my child to suffer. But what does it mean? In modern terms, we call it resilience. To be strong, when the wind comes, to defend my interests, and so on. But Viktor Frankl goes a bit deeper, to be have the capability to suffer means be ready to make a sacrifice if the situation requires. And parents know a lot about the sacrifice because of the children. Sleepless nights. Yes, we sacrifice our sleep because the baby is crying. And to be, well, the Reverend Moon says, we are one family under God, and here our youth, they are called living for the sake of others. Christ says, love yourself and your neighbor. Living for the sake of others doesn't mean that I get a victim, but it means that I have a goal in my life. I have sense, I know what for I shall struggle. And I see there are so many projects, and congratulations going on. We heard all these reports, and keep going. And each of us here, please do your part to make the world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Neuberger-Schmidt, for very beautiful insights and some parenting good advice. Thank you. Okay, we will move to the youth part of our panel, and I would like to invite our guest from Hungary, Mónika Nanys, and she represents Youth and Service for Peace. It's an organization established. It was established in Budapest in 2019, and Mónika Nanys is a project manager for Peace Designer Initiative since 2022, and strongly interested in health and well-being, with master's degree in biomedical engineering, a clever mind. So let's hear about the projects that they organize as YSP.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to come here and to present our projects. Yes, I am the co-leader of YSP Hungary, and I will present to you our activities and experiences in a children's home in Budapest, Hungary. Sorry. And before I do that, let me introduce who we are. We are IYSP, which stands for International Association of Youth and Students for Peace. We are shortly international community of young people striving to build a world of peace. Here, strangers become friends, and friends work together to realize awesome peace projects. We are also connected to the United Nations. We have a special consultative status in the UN ECOSOC. And also, we provide opportunities for young people to engage with their governments about the issues they really care about and make a difference. We also have a vision, which is that every young person experiences that their contribution truly matters for peace. We work along the RISE values, which stands for responsibility, integrity, service, and empathy. We have the same founder as Women's Federation for World Peace, who is Dr. Harcha Hanmoon, the Mother of Peace. She founded IOSB in South Korea in 2017, and later this youth organization came to Vienna, to Europe, and with a big event, it was started in 2018 in April, and this is where I also met YSP for the first time. And then we started YSP in Hungary in 2019. Our activities consist of peace projects, education for personal development and intercultural activities, and one of our most consistent program has been visiting a children's home. It's called the Bokrita Children's Home, and the way we met them is through one of our members, Sandra. she had the chance to go to this children's home with her company. They were going twice a year and bringing donations and spending time with the children. And she had the idea of instead of going only twice a year, how about actually going back more consistently and building a relationship with the children. And this is how we went there. And I still remember after a Christmas program that we did with the children, like we were standing outside of the children's home and in a circle, hugging each other and feeling really touched just by the experience with the getting to know them and this home. And we really felt like, yes, let's come back here again and again. And we really felt like this is a place we can invest in. And also Bokreta actually means a bouquet of flower. So this is how we want the children to grow and bloom and become beautiful people. This is a little background about the child and youth protection system in Hungary. Right now, there are around 23,000 children in this living without their parents, and this could mean that they're in children's home or they are living with foster parents. And a positive change in Hungary is that since 2004, there are more children in the foster care system than in children's homes. So there's a bigger focus in actually prevention and supporting the families instead of taking them to a home, a children's home, which is always the last solution. So this is definitely a good way of working for this service. And there also used to be these bigger homes of 100 children altogether, and they also made it smaller to 12 children in one home. So it's more like a family environment, which is still not ideal, of course, but much better than it was before. And as we got to know the children and the home, we were talking with the caretakers, and of course we experienced a lot of joyful moments together, but we also saw the more challenging side. The caretakers were speaking about high turnover and often not enough caretakers. They were also often tired. It's low salary, not really, they don't receive enough support from government also that they would really deserve. And also they often have, they have 12-hour shifts. It's really not a regular 9-to-5 job, so it's emotionally and physically also demanding. They often have too many children in one home, not enough attention for the children, and narrow perspectives of life and the world because of their financial background, and also they also often come with traumatic past and sometimes present, because we also experienced this. Often when we were visiting, we met some children who just entered a home a week or a few weeks before we went there, and we could really see the effect still of the family environment. Some of these children had anger issues, or there was a little girl, 5 years old, who was really like cursing all the time, and this was really shocking to meet such a children. And because many of the volunteers, we come from really protective families, so this was really eye-opening to experience something like this. But luckily they do have really caring and loving caretakers, and we also try to give our contribution, which is regular creative experiential educational programs. So we give a break to the caretakers, and we often go with multiple volunteers. So there's more attention given to each child these times, and we bring a fresh vision and new experiences. We try to develop their skills, so we often do cooking and baking together, some arts and crafts and sports. So there are different creative ways we do this. And in 2025, we are connecting to the SDG number 2, which is Zero Hunger. So we try to bring this knowledge and teach them about seasonal, local fresh foods and healthy living and cooking. And here you can see all our events so far. This is if you maybe receive our PPT, then you can see it more in detail. But I wanted to show some pictures also of our events. Unfortunately, we cannot show pictures of the children themselves, but these are some moments. We often do holiday celebrations together. So here you can see a Thanksgiving dinner where we cooked all together with the children, and then everyone went around and shared what they're grateful for in the year. And then we have, this is an Easter celebration. It's a traditional sweet bread in Hungary called kalács. And we also went strawberry picking, and then we made some jam together. These are some of our volunteers, and we also had one event where some of our volunteers shared about their dreams and some struggles they went through and how they overcame them. And then we had some conversations with the children, or the more older 15 to 18 year old, so young people. And this was really deep, and we really felt this was a meaningful event for both us and the younger ones. And we also helped with some cleaning because they had a national inspection, and at that time it was that this was the most needed help. So we also helped in this one time. So these are our results. So far we had 25 volunteers joining our programs. We had so far 10 events in this home, and they eventually went through the national inspection successfully. This is also a sensitivity program for young adults, an opportunity to give, which connects back to our vision to have every young person experience that their contribution matters for peace. And also the children gain some skills and experiences. So among our future plans, we have we want to continue this education about food and healthy lifestyle. And we also want to organize a career fair to inspire the children towards a brighter future. So thank you for the attention. And if you want to follow us, our journey on social media, you can do so on Instagram and Facebook. And we also have an international webpage and LinkedIn page that you can check. So thank you so much for your attention.
Mónika, it was an inspiring project. We can definitely learn from it. I know cooking can be fun. It's just a beautiful experience to cook with someone. It's not at all a boring activity. It's much nicer to do it with someone than alone. Good idea. And last speakers of today will be the 3 wonderful guests from Czech Republic. So I will very briefly introduce Věra Gregurková and Matea Strkulova and Matěj Kosic. They also represent the same organization in Czech Republic, Youth and Students for Peace. And yes, Věra in the middle. She is a coordinator of the YSP projects and activities, and Matea is a social media person and a project assistant, and Matěj is a finance and project manager helping. So they will introduce a beautiful idea of a sports event called Peace Cup, but I will let them do that.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Nice to see you all. Thank you very much for the opportunity that we can be here and present our Czech YSP branch. In the Czech Republic, mainly we focus on service projects. We are trying to contribute to the society, inspire young people to take action and somehow make better society together. So in collaboration with Salvation Army, we made food collection for people who are in need, so for homeless and these people in difficult situation. Also, we picked trash on the streets in Prague, which is kind of dirty. So we try to kind of contribute on a local level. But our biggest project yet is Peace Cup, which has the idea to unite people all around the world to come together and compete in sports, to cross boundaries of religion, beliefs, and nations, cultures, and just to meet on a sports field and try to create some international friendships together with the vision of one family and create these bridges as mentioned before. So the idea of Peace Cup was not ours originally. It was founded in 2003 by mentioned already Reverend Sun Myung-moon and his wife, Dr. Hak Cha-han. And our Peace Cup is planned to be happening in August at the end of summer holidays. And it is done in the collaboration with International YSP. So our idea is to unite all these branches around Europe, America, and Asia, hopefully to come together to Prague and participate on this 3-day sports festival with some music and culture additional program to really create these international friendships and unite through sports. So I will pass the mic to my colleague, Matej, who will continue.
Thank you so much. So, mainly we need the location of the event, right? So it will be in Prague, in the north part of the city, in the outskirts. So basically it's not in the middle, thankfully. It's the city, Elisola, it's something like a village. But like I said, it's really near Prague. Like you can see on the photos, it's a really beautiful place. It's surrounded by nature. And also a few years ago it was renovated, so it's brand new, let's say. And when we were there, actually it was really motivating, and it's a really big area. During the whole event, we will have 4 sports: be football, volleyball, matanage, and running. Running will be 1,500 kilometers. Basically, yes. So, sorry. Yeah. If you want, you can try. Whereas number 1 will be football. Right next to it will be volleyball and matanage. If you don't know what matanage is, you can imagine it something like dodgeball, but you don't move. You have mainly to catch the ball, not dodge it. And every time your opponent throws the ball, you can make one step, or basically you have to eliminate everyone in the team from your opposite team. Also, we will not only sports. We will have some side events like stands for here, like doing origami or some music also, and some program. For now we are planning to have a group of dancers from Prague, really professional, so hopefully we'll have them. Yeah, and that's from me for the place.
And about the visual identity, we have this amazing poster, which was created by my younger sister, Julia, who is an art student. So it was made by her, and as you can see, there are these 4 sports represented on a poster by 4 characters. And this visual identity is kind of also found on our website. Later we will introduce them. So there are 4 sports as football, matanage, running man, and volleyball, and also 4 nationalities. So we really are trying to embrace all kinds of people to come together and compete in sports. And later, at the end of our presentation, we will also show you the video that was also made by our Czech younger friend, high school students, 2 brothers, Martin and Robin Siege. So later you will see the video. And yeah, this is again about the design. So you can see these characters that can be found on all our leaflets and materials. So yeah, thank you very much. And for the last part,
yeah, so I will just very quickly introduce our main information channels. The first one is same as with Mónika. We have also WFWP Instagram, where we regularly share our events and what's currently happening, so feel free to follow us as well if you want to be posted. And then the second one is a bit bigger project. We also designed our own websites, which are able to kind of show you not even the projects, but also the Peace Cup itself. So through there, you can very easily get to rules of each game. So before the tournament, you can read through them, and it's going to be written officially somewhere. And we will also post very soon a schedule of the event as well. So feel free to check them out as well, please. And yeah, it's wfwprague.com, so it's very easy, and you can check them right away. And then now it's the part when we want to also officially invite all of you to come as well, because this is really an event for everybody. We want to really, as Viruška already mentioned, have all kinds of people there. So even if you want to come just as a spectator and just see the tournaments themselves, feel free to come. But I also see many young people here in the audience, so if you're interested, feel free to come to us as well. You can ask questions if you want to, if you would think about joining. So yeah, here you have some main information about the fee. And we are also looking for staff members as well. So if you're very big sports fans, feel free to also approach us. We are currently still looking for some referees, for example, and then also coordinators and photographs as well. So if you have also maybe some friends or somebody from your family would like to join, feel free to contact us. You can do so through the email, or you can also write us, or you can come to us. We will be here until evening. Yeah? And now we prepared the small video for you. It's an official invitation, and yeah, hopefully it's gonna work. So enjoy, and yeah, let's watch it together.
Welcome to Peace Cup 2025!
A tournament where sport is more than a game. It's a way to unite people, nations and cultures.
We live in a time of war and division. The war in Ukraine, the separation of North and South Korea, and the growing divisions across Europe. But history has proven when people come together, change is possible.
All around the world, the walls divide us, both physical and in our hearts. But here on this field, we can become one global family with the same vision of peace.
Our country has been separated for over 70 years. Families torn apart, people divided. For generations, we have dreamed of reunification, but too often, politics has failed.
This is why Peace Cup was founded. In 2003, Reverend Sun Myung Moon and Dr. Hak Chan Moon created this tournament with a vision: world peace through sports.
Though the original tournament has ended, its mission never faded. The vision was revived in Los Angeles, uniting young people from all over the world to compete together once again.
Prague lies in the heart of Europe, uniting East and West, and now it will become a place where young people from all around the world meet, compete, and become one.
For sports, endless possibilities. Football, volleyball, running relay, and matanage. Step on the field and challenge yourself. Test your strength, your teamwork, and your spirit.
This is more than a tournament. It's a global meeting point, a festival of different cultures and traditions, music, dance, art. Every nation, every culture side by side, because understanding begins with a sharing.
We may speak different languages, but on the field we all understand each other. Sports and cultures have the power to break the barriers that politics cannot.
Young people are like pure water, fresh, full of energy, and always moving.
A single drop may seem small, but when streams come together, they form a powerful river.
And when those streams unite, they cleanse, they heal, and they shape the world around them.
Together we are unstoppable. Together we can create something bigger than ourselves.
This is your chance to be part of something unforgettable.
To compete, to challenge yourself, and to grow.
To break barriers, to share your culture. Because a united Europe, united world, and a world of peace starts here.
With each one of us.
No, fantastic. We are a little bit envious, but we will have some video results from this conference too. All right, thank you very much. It was really nice. And yeah, we made it. So this was the longest session of the day, I promise. All the other sessions are shorter than this one, so you can congratulate yourself. And yeah, thank you very much. You really were attentive.